The first time my daughter ever asked me if she was less than, she didn't use those words. She was standing in my parents' driveway in February, snow melting into gray slush around her little boots, holding a paper plate wrapped in foil. "Mommy," Lily said, staring at the house instead of at me, "are we like practice family?" I felt that question land in my body before I understood it. Practice family. Not the real thing, not the main event. Just the warm-up act. That's when I knew something had to change. If you're new here, my name's Natalie Fontaine. I'm 34. I'm a bookkeeper. I drink too much coffee and I overthink conversations in the shower 3 days after they happen. I'm also a widow. My husband Aaron died 4 years ago in a construction accident that still feels like a sentence I don't know how to finish. And I'm Lily's mom, which means I don't get to pretend not to notice things anymore. Let me take you back to how we got to that driveway. It started with a birthday party. Not Christmas this time. Not a holiday. Just an ordinary Saturday in February for my father Gerald's 62nd birthday. Meredith organized it, of course. She always does. My older sister lives 10 minutes from our parents in the same tidy suburban bubble we grew up in. She married Kyle Collins, who owns his own contracting business and has one of those trucks that looks like it's never actually seen dirt. Meredith posted about the party 3 weeks in advance. Dad's big 6. 2. We're going all out this year. Balloon emojis. Confetti emojis. A picture of her kids at Party City holding gold number balloons. I found out through Facebook. Again. I waited for a call. Maybe she'd ring me after work. Maybe Mom would text me the menu or ask what time we'd arrive. Nothing. 3 days before the party, Joyce finally called. "Natalie, can you bring something simple? Maybe that pasta salad you do? No onions. Your father doesn't like onions. No hello, no how are you? Just logistics." "Sure," I said. I always say sure first and feel later. "And dress Lily warmly," she added. "The kids are going to be outside doing a scavenger hunt Kyle planned." The kids, plural. I knew what that meant. Meredith's 3, Bryce, Addison, and Paige. Lily was implied, not included. There's a difference. The morning of the party, Lily helped me stir the pasta salad. She stood on her little step stool, tongue peeking out in concentration, sprinkling parsley like it was fairy dust. "Will there be cake?" she asked. "Oh, absolutely. Grandpa loves cake. Will there be a game?" "Probably. Uncle Kyle loves games." She nodded, satisfied. Then she said, almost casually, "Do you think Grandpa will like the card I made?" She had spent an hour the night before drawing him, fishing on a lake. The fish was enormous and purple. Grandpa had a grin that stretched almost off the page. "He's going to love it," I told her. I meant it. I wanted to mean it. The drive was 2 hours. Gray sky, radio low. Lily humming to herself in the back seat. When we pulled up, the driveway was full. Kyle's truck, Meredith's SUV, Dad's old Ford, a neighbor's car. The front yard was decorated with a giant 62 inches balloon arch, streamers, a banner that read, "Legend." Legend. Inside, the house was buzzing. Laughter, the smell of grilled meat, music playing from the kitchen. Meredith swooped in with a one-arm hug. "Hey, you made it." "Oh my gosh, Lily, you've grown." She turned before Lily could answer. "Bryce! Addison! Go show Grandpa the scavenger hunt clues." Gerald was in his recliner like always, beer in hand, grinning at Bryce, who was waving a printed clue sheet. "Hey, Karin," he said when he noticed me. "Karin, he's called me that since high school. Some joke about a teacher misreading my name. It stuck. I used to think it was funny. Now it just feels impersonal. Like I'm a nickname instead of a daughter." Lily stood next to me holding her card. "Hi, Grandpa," she said. He nodded. "Hey there, kiddo." No hug, no comment about her dress, no how's school. Bryce launched into explaining the scavenger hunt rules. Addison chimed in. Paige was already tugging at Gerald's sleeve. Kyle clapped his hands. "All right, kids, teams of 2. Let's go. 3 kids, 3 teams." I watched it happen in real time. Bryce paired with Addison, Paige with Meredith. Lily stood there, clutching the card, waiting to be assigned. Nobody noticed. I felt that familiar tightness in my chest, the the one I usually swallow down with a polite smile. "Hey," I said lightly, "is there a team for Lily?" Kyle blinked. "Oh, we didn't plan for 4, but she can tag along with." "With me?" Meredith cut in quickly. "Lily, you can help Paige." Paige didn't look thrilled. Meredith didn't look thrilled. It was accommodation, not inclusion. Lily nodded anyway. "Okay." She handed Grandpa the card before she ran off. He set it on the side table without opening it. That's the moment. That's the tiny, quiet moment that cracked something in me. I carried the pasta salad into the kitchen and set it down next to a catered tray of sliders from a local restaurant. There were cupcakes with custom toppers, a personalized cake with Gerald's face printed on it. Joyce beamed at Meredith. "This is just perfect. You always think of everything." Meredith laughed. "It's nothing, Mom." Nothing. The scavenger hunt lasted 20 minutes. The kids came back flushed and loud. Lily hung back slightly behind them, smiling but not bouncing. "Who won?" Gerald asked. "Bryce and Addison," Kyle announced. "High fives. Cheers." Gerald handed Bryce an envelope. "For the winner." Bryce tore it open. $50. The room clapped. Lily stood next to me. "Did everyone get something?" she whispered. "Maybe later," I said, hating myself for the hopeful tone. Later never came. When it was time for cake, Joyce lined up the 3 cousins for photos with Gerald. "Grandkids and Grandpa," she called. Lily stepped forward automatically. Joyce hesitated. It was subtle, so subtle you'd miss it if you weren't looking. "Oh, yes, Lily too," she added quickly, adjusting the line. Lily ended up on the far edge, Gerald's arm around Bryce, Meredith's hand on Paige's shoulder. Lily's hands clasped in front of her. I took the photo on Joyce's phone. When I handed it back, I saw the preview. Lily was half cut off by the frame. After we sang Happy Birthday, I leaned toward my father. "Dad, Lily made you a card." "Oh yeah?" He reached over, grabbed it from the table, opened it. He smiled briefly. "Nice fish." Then he set it down. That was it. No thank you. No this is beautiful. No asking her about the drawing. We stayed another hour. I watched Meredith's kids open small gifts Gerald had bought them just because. A Lego set for Bryce, a new soccer ball for Addison, a doll for Paige. Lily didn't get anything. On the drive home, she was quiet. 40 minutes in, she spoke. "Mommy?" "Yeah. Baby? Are we practice family?" I gripped the steering wheel. "What do you mean?" She stared out the window. "Like the family you have before the real one comes over." The air left my lungs. Why would you think that? Because when we're there, everyone acts like they're waiting for something better. I had to pull into a gas station because I couldn't see through the blur in my eyes. I parked, turned off the engine, and twisted in my seat to look at her. "Lily," I said carefully, "you are not practice anything. You are the real thing. Always." She nodded slowly. "Okay," but her voice wasn't convinced. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat at the kitchen table and replayed every single moment. The card left unopened, the missing team, the half-cropped photo, the envelope with $50 that never had Lily's name on it. It wasn't one big dramatic cruelty. It was 1,000 tiny exclusions, and I'd been smoothing them over for years. Aaron used to be the buffer. He'd call my dad every Sunday, talk sports, bridge the awkward gaps. He made it harder for them to forget us because he insisted on connection. After he died, I stopped pushing. Grief makes you tired. Tired people choose the path of least resistance. For me, that meant staying quiet. But Lily isn't tired. She's 8. She's awake and watching. The next week, Joyce posted the birthday photos on Facebook, celebrating our favorite 62-year-old with the grandkids. 3 heart emojis, the main photo, Gerald in his recliner, Bryce on one side, Addison on the other, Paige on his lap. No Lily. She was in the background of one picture, blurred. I stared at that post for a long time. Then I did something I've never done before. I commented, "Lily loved making Grandpa's card. She was so proud to be there." It was polite, neutral. "Just a sentence," Joyce replied. "Of course, all the kids had fun." All the kids. The vagueness of that phrase felt like a slap. I screenshotted the album. I cropped the photo where Lily was half cut off. Then I opened a blank email. I didn't send it right away. I let it sit. I drafted and deleted and drafted again. It wasn't a manifesto. It wasn't an attack. It was simple. Mom and Dad, I need to talk about what's been happening with Lily at family gatherings. She feels like an afterthought. The scavenger hunt didn't include her. The winner received money, and she received nothing. Her card wasn't acknowledged. The photos posted didn't include her. This isn't about money or prizes. It's about belonging. If Lily continues to feel like practice family, we will stop attending events. I love you, but I will not teach my daughter that being tolerated is the same as being loved. Natalie. I read it out loud 3 times. My voice shook the first time, less the second. By the third, it was steady. I pressed send. Joyce called within 10 minutes. How could you write something like this? She demanded. How could you let it happen? I asked. She's too sensitive. She's 8. You're making this bigger than it is. It's already big to her. Gerald got on the line. We didn't mean anything by it. I believe you, I said. But intent doesn't erase impact. There was silence. Then Gerald said, So what do you want? An apology? Yes, I said, and change. The word apology hung there like something foreign. Joyce sniffed. Fine. I'm sorry she felt that way. I closed my eyes. That's not the same as being sorry you treated her that way. She went quiet. The next few weeks were tense. Meredith texted me. You really sent that email? Yes. Mom's upset. It was just a game. It was just a pattern. She didn't respond. 2 weeks later, something unexpected happened. Gerald showed up at our townhouse. Unannounced, he stood on my porch, holding a brown paper bag. Lily answered the door. Grandpa? He smiled awkwardly. Hey, kiddo. I came up behind her. Dad? I was in the area, he said. He wasn't. We lived 2 hours away. He handed Lily the bag. Inside was a small wooden tackle box. Old, scratched, worn. I used this when I was your age, he said. Thought maybe you could keep your art stuff in it. Lily's face lit up. Really? Really? She hugged him. He looked surprised. Then he hugged her back. We invited him in. He sat at our tiny kitchen table, the one Aaron assembled wrong the first time and had to redo while laughing. Gerald cleared his throat. I didn't see it, he said quietly. Not the way you did. I know, I replied. I thought because you live farther, because Meredith's kids are around more. I know, I said again, but Lily doesn't understand proximity. She understands presence. He nodded slowly. I'm sorry, he said. Not, I'm sorry she felt. Not, I'm sorry you took it that way. Just, I'm sorry. It wasn't dramatic. There were no tears, no grand speech, but it was real. Joyce didn't come that day. It took her longer. In April, she called Lily directly. Hi, sweetheart, she said. I was thinking, would you help me plan Easter this year? Lily glanced at me, unsure. Like how? She asked. Well, I need someone with artistic talent to help me design place cards. Lily beamed. After the call, she whispered, She said I'm artistic. I heard. I smiled. Easter was different. There were 4 clues in the egg hunt, 4 prizes, 4 names written carefully. Joyce handed Lily an envelope at the end. For your creativity, she said. Inside was a gift card to an art supply store. It wasn't about the amount, it was about the thought. At dinner, Joyce raised her glass. To all my grandchildren, she said. Each of you makes this family better. She looked at Lily when she said it. That mattered. We're not magically healed. Families don't transform overnight like some Hallmark movie. There are still awkward pauses, still moments where I feel the old imbalance trying to creep back in. But I don't swallow it anymore. If Lily's name isn't on something, I ask why. If plans exclude her, I decline. No theatrics, just boundaries. And you know what? The world didn't end. In May, Lily had her first school art showcase. She invited her grandparents. Joyce came with flowers. Gerald took photos. When Lily showed them her drawing, a big table with every family member sitting together, Gerald pointed at a small detail in the corner. What's that? He asked. That's the extra chair, Lily said, for anyone who feels left out. Joyce's eyes filled. On the drive home, Lily leaned forward between the seats. Mommy? Yeah? I think we're real family now. I smiled through the windshield glare. We always were, I said. The difference is, now she knows it. If you're watching this and you've been telling yourself it's not a big deal, that you're overreacting, that you should just keep the peace, pause. Ask yourself, who benefits from your silence? Sometimes the bravest thing you can do isn't cutting people off, it's holding up a mirror and saying, look, you don't have to scream. You don't have to burn bridges. Sometimes you just have to say one steady word. No. No, my child will not be practice family. No, we won't sit at the edge of the frame. No. Love is not optional for some and abundant for others. And if this story felt a little too familiar, if you've ever driven home from a gathering replaying tiny moments that didn't sit right, you're not dramatic, you're observant. Your kids are watching how you respond. Mine was. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Revenge Diary. Share this with someone who's been told they're too sensitive for noticing what's obvious. And if you're sitting there thinking of the word you wish you'd said sooner, type it in the comments. Just one word. No.